Hello friends, James Stevenson here with a question. Is the Tesla growth story over? After 7 straight quarters when Tesla has failed to set new records much higher than previous? This is part 13 of my Tesla earnings forecast video review series. In the 69th post of my 69 tweet thread, I left a breadcrumb as a reward for those who, like Loki, were curious enough to stick it out to the end of my forecast thread. Here it is. And your reward for sticking around to the end of the 69 post thread. Here's a bonus visualization. The chart Tesla Charts tweeted in mid-2020 to claim the growth story is over. So check it out. I don't have a better screenshot of it than this, so I don't have the date on here, but it's easy to surmise that this chart must have been tweeted shortly after the second quarter 2020 results came out. So that would put the dating circa late July 2020 is when I would imagine this chart went out from the hater, short seller, troll, and generalissimo of the Tesla Q movement, Tesla Charts. I will not utter his real name here because he was doxxed at one point. I know his name, but it's not a good idea to dox people. What did this chart say? Well, it just showed Tesla quarterly revenue beginning in Q1 of 2018, which is a suspicious time to begin this chart, and running through Q2 of 2022. I don't know why he needed to cite Bloomberg as his source. It's the company filing that matters. So yeah, here you go. Over the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 quarters, Tesla hadn't managed to beat this record quarter by much. If this quarter was a record, it didn't beat that record by very much. What was the point of this chart, if you're Tesla Charts? Well, it was to say the growth story is over. Tesla hasn't grown their revenue over the most recent few years, and therefore we can deduce that this was the peak for Tesla. They'll never have another quarter that was as good as either of these two because they've tried and failed so many times to beat this number. They've only, come close to doing so once since then. Q4 of 2018. So the growth story is over. This is not a hyper-growth company. The stock price won't appreciate. It's a good idea to short the company, is what he was telling people still in mid-2020, even after the stock price had started running up by a lot. What's the rest of my post? It wasn't. What wasn't? It wasn't over. The growth story was not over in mid-2020. Here's the overlaid version I updated through last quarter. I'll click this and see if it gets bigger on your screen. Yes, it does. So you will recognize this overlay down here, partially transparent, is what I did, to show you what's been happening since the quarter that Tesla Charts orphaned this chart. He never updated it again because the very next quarter, Q3 2020, was an all-time record. And so was the quarter after that. The one after that wasn't. In Q1, Q1 is often down sequentially. It was again this year, right? But then there were more quarterly revenue records set in Q2 of 2021, and Q3, and Q4, and Q1 of 2022. Not in Q2. This was the Shanghai lockdowns quarter, I think. That was down by a sharp amount. Another record here, another record here. What's been happening since then? Well, we're kind of in another one of these situations that we've seen happen before, where, a record gets set at a high level, and then it's difficult to surmount that high level over a protracted period of time, more than a year, where the revenue doesn't exceed by much a very high record. If this chart had been run over more years, you would have seen that these levels were much higher than they had been in prior years. But of course, Tesla Charts wanted to frame the chart this way by excluding those prior time periods. Here it is in larger context. You can clearly tell there is an up and to the right trend here over this longer period of time, 2018 through 2024 Q2. A little over 6 years worth of data on here. This was an all-time record quarter, $25.5 billion. Just, it doesn't look like that impressive of a record next to these 3 previous quarters that were all close to the same amount. Some of them look exactly the same in this view. But there you go. That's what's happening today. People are saying the Tesla growth story is over, just like they said it 6 years ago. When the growth story was not over, Tesla was just between growth waves. After this, what happened? Tesla Model Y was released, and the Model Y became the world's best-selling model over the next couple of years. That's what drove Tesla's next leg of the revenue growth cycle. What do they have coming next? Well, driverless full self-driving is coming. Tesla is working on it. That'll enable the Tesla network of driverless ride sharing. What's coming after that? Autonomous robots are coming, right? Tesla's got more growth waves on the way and more record revenue quarters on the way. The growth story is really just getting warmed up, and that is my video. And that's the end of my Tesla earnings forecast video review series. Go check out my thread if you missed it. Loki did a lot of hard work putting this forecast together, so let him know you liked this video by clicking the thumbs up button or the heart button, depending on where you're watching this video. And that'll help other people like you who may also like this video. Thank you to everybody who follows me, subscribes to me, supports me, especially my executive producers, Kathy Kitchler and Rebellionaire.com, and I'll see you in the next one.